So it's no secret that the city of Memphis has had some very deadly shootings lately all over the city. The chief of police, C.J. Davis, and Memphis Mayor Paul Young did meet this morning to address that crime. The biggest takeaway from this morning's press conference seemed to be that they are calling for stricter punishment on cases on these deadly shootings, and they want the cases to be heard in federal court. I want to start there before we get into some of the command center that's downtown and another bill that we'll talk about. But Otis, hearing that cases they want heard in federal court, do you think that's realistic?
I'm a little leery of that. I mean, we're talking about taking a murder case that's a state case and putting it over in the federal system. I just don't see how that would work. The federal system already has a lot of backlog. They don't have as many judges. I just don't see how that can work.
Okay, any thoughts, Cordell?
I mean, it sounds good. It sounds like you're elevating it up, but it's again just doing something to be doing something. We've got a whole DOJ report about how police are violating the rights of citizens. Are we going to send those to federal court as well? So we should really be asking questions about what does the whole system look like and how do we address these issues? And even when we're talking about the mayor's budget, what are we investing in communities if we're putting out, you know, these things and putting more money into police? We're not going to solve crime until we invest in our people and communities.
That's a good point, Tawan. Now, the mayor has been quoted saying enough is enough. Do you think that cases heard in federal court is a proper step forward? I mean, we can't just hear quotes all the time or statements. We got to get some movement
I
here.
thought the federal government makes a decision of what cases they want.
They do, and usually it's involving
So it's an encroachment.
civil rights.
Yeah, it's an encroachment on the federal government's role. And if we need more judges, or if some reason our system is not functioning properly to hear cases in a timely manner, let's address that as a community for our state. And those are productive things that our General Assembly can hear and make some determinations about, so people aren't waiting 5 and 6 years to on a murder case. I would think 18 months to 2 years is enough for anybody to be ready to go to trial.
But they took away judges, though.
Yeah, and they took away judges. So those are the issues.
We are running a little bit out of time. I do want to touch on the fact that they do have that downtown command center now with a bunch of cameras and high-tech cameras at that. It's funny that they're putting more cameras into the city and almost like a big brother watchdog, but there's a bill that says, or right now that's working through the legislature now that it's over, but that you could get a misdemeanor if you are recording any officer within 25 feet. That is.
If the officer's doing something illegal, he should be filmed just throughout the process of the arrest he's making, so that person won't be violated physically or mentally.
Just their tidbit on what that would mean with officers doing something illegally. They should be held accountable as well. We know that cameras were such a big deal in the Tyree Nichols case. Right. Really quickly, I want to start with Otis.
Yeah, I'll say it again. That's an awful decision to try to make. We have a right in a public place to take video. That's our First Amendment right. Let's not encroach that, because if we're talking 25 feet, the police can put the 25 feet marker anywhere, and it could be 100 feet away from what they're doing. So I'm opposed to that.
Okay, Tawan, your thoughts?
I agree totally with Otis, but I just want to add, how dare you tell me what I can't do as a citizen, but you can watch me? Right. And I just think what's good for the goose is good for the gander, and this is going to end up in court.
Yeah.
Last words from Cordell.
Again, I go back to, you know, what we know about what the police have done in our community from the DOJ report findings, and this is not a time where we should be limiting transparency and accountability and filming of police officers. It should be a place where we should be inviting that and then addressing those issues in a real systemic way.
Wonderful. Okay, yeah, good point. The panel has spoken. Thank you all so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Thank you for watching.